Hi, I'm Rob Johnstone with Woodworkers Journal magazine. We're back in the shop today using a CNC router to make a Chinese checkerboard. This checkerboard requires 3 different programs which are free to you, downloadable online, and it also requires the use of 3 different router bits, which kind of makes sense. Now anytime you use CNC programming, you want to check it to make sure it works properly. Here's an example of my successful test. All of the holes are in the right place and all that kind of stuff in a lovely piece of plywood. Here is one that was not so successful. So even though the programming was perfect, I placed the stock inappropriately on the workspace and I got a bad result. And you want to test those things out before you use your real stock. Something like this really nice quarter sawn Douglas fir. You want to do it well and you want to do it right, and so you have to test it. How do you do it right? I'll show you that right now. To get started, as I have with previous CNC projects, I used carpet tape to help hold the stock in place during the machining process. Once I had the blank placed correctly on the CNC machine, I installed the 3/8 inch cove cutting bit. I located it exactly in the center of the workpiece and then zeroed out the axes. Then I loaded the .tap file and started cutting. All 3 programs are started from the exact center of the checkerboard. It's easy to keep the center located on the computer and then just adjust the Y or up and down axis for each successive cut. As you can see, the program has the machine take 2 steps to drill the holes for the marbles. This helps keep the bit sharp and also prevents burning. Nothing is better than a CNC for accurately drilling hundreds of holes. It's the clear deal. After all the marble holes are formed, the machine will move on to making some handy little marble pockets to keep the marbles from rolling all over your table. The playing field program takes about an hour or so to run from beginning to end, but I found that useful as I had time to finally clean up my shop while I was cutting. When the playing field programming is completed, chuck a 90-degree V-bit into your router and engrave the home bases. Ralph Bagnell, our CNC programmer, also added a bevel edge to the checkerboard, and this same bit shapes that cut as well. After the engraving is completed, check it over to make sure it cut deep enough grooves. You can always lower the Y-axis and run the program again if you have a low spot or perhaps you just wanted a more dramatic look. The last step is cutting out the perimeter of the checkerboard. When that's done, it's off to sanding and a couple of coats of shellac. So that's it. A nicely made Chinese checkerboard from quarter sawn Douglas fir. Hope you take advantage of our free downloadable programming, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'm Rob Johnstone for Woodworkers Journal magazine. Keep on making sawdust.